everyone to the third International Galvanizing Conference. स्वागत आप सभी का. We'd like to share with you that we are just about to begin just in some time from now. अब से कुछ ही देर की देरी में हम आज के कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करने वाले हैं. Requesting everyone to please join us inside. Kindly be seated. The Honorable Minister is on his way and he'll be joining us shortly just in few minutes from now. कुछ ही क्षण में एक बहुत ही अमेजिंग उद्घाटन समारोह जो कि आज हमारे अंतर्राष्ट्रीय गैल्वनाइजिंग सम्मेलन 2019 का एक बहुत ही अहम भाग है, उसके साथ हम आगे बढ़ेंगे और हमें पूरी उम्मीद है कि हमारे साथ आज इस हॉल में उपस्थित सभी डिस्टिंग्विश गेस्ट द्वारा हर क्षण में इनॉग्रल सेशन के हमें उनका साथ व सहयोग प्राप्त होगा. वी होप and look forward to an amazing cooperation and support from all the distinguished audience present with us in this August hall. Thank you. Rise up with a standing ovation. So after the inauguration of the exhibition for our third International Galvanizing Conference, हमारे लिए बहुत ही प्रसन्नता की बात है that most respected आदरणीय श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी is there amongst us. जोरदार तालियों से मैं सभी से अनुरोध करूंगी to welcome distinguished most respected आदरणीय श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी, Honorable Union Minister for Petroleum, Natural Gas, Ministry of Steel. I request Dr. Andrew Green, Dr. Rahul Sharma to lead the dignitaries with us here on the dais. Once again, good morning, namaskar. Requesting everyone to be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, good morning, namaskar, welcome. Swagat aap sabhi ka. Welcome to the third International Galvanizing Conference 2019. आज के इस कार्यक्रम को शुरुआत करने से पहले हम आपको बताना चाहते हैं दैट आज हमारे साथ मंच पर बहुत ही खास अतिथिगण उपस्थित हैं. एज वी कमेंस आवर कॉन्फ्रेंस फॉर टुडे, वी आर डिलाइटेड टू हैव एन एस्टीम्ड panel of dignitaries present with us this morning, and as I call out their names, once again requesting everyone to welcome them with a thunderous applause. We're delighted to have amongst us Adarniya Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Honorable Union Minister for Petroleum, Natural Gas, Ministry of Steel, Union of India, Government of India. जोरदार तालियों से हम सर का स्वागत करेंगे. We are delighted to have amongst us Adarniya Shri Raju Bish ji, Honorable Member of Parliament. Sir, welcome sir. We are delighted to have amongst us Adarniya Shri Sunil Duggal ji, CEO Hindustan Zinc Limited. Welcome sir. We are delighted to have amongst us Shri Amit Agarwal ji, CEO JSW Coated Products Limited. Welcome sir. We are also delighted to have amongst us Dr. Andrew Green and Dr. Rahul Sharma. To take the proceedings forward, I would request our dignitaries to join us for the lamp lighting ceremony. आइए आज के कार्यक्रम की हम शुरुआत करेंगे with the lamp lighting ceremony, requesting that Dr. Andrew Green and Dr. Rahul Sharma to lead our dignitaries. And we are delighted that आदरणीय श्री फगन सिंह कुलस्ते जी भी हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं. तालियों से स्वागत करेंगे respected आदरणीय फगन सिंह कुलस्ते जी, Minister of State for Steel. स्वागत सभी अतिथिगण का. And yes, we are beginning our gracious occasion today with the lamp lighting. आज के सम्मेलन को दिए के इस प्रकाश के साथ हम करेंगे शुरुआत. उपस्थित है हमारे साथ आदरणीय श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी, श्री फगन सिंह कुलस्ते जी, आदरणीय राजू बिश सर, आदरणीय सुनील दुग्गल जी, आदरणीय अमित अग्रवाल जी, Dr. Andrew Green, Dr. Rahul Sharma. तालियां जोरदार. Inaugural of the third International Galvanizing Conference 2019 with the lamp lighting. तीसरे अंतर्राष्ट्रीय गैल्वनाइजिंग सम्मेलन 2019 का द्वीप प्रज्वलन के साथ हो रही है शुरुआत. Once again, तालियां, जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं. A very memorable occasion, third International Galvanizing Conference 2019, beginning with the lamp lighting ceremony. Requesting our dignitaries to join us here on dais. एक बार फिर अतिथिगण से अनुरोध कि हमारे साथ मंच पर शामिल हों. Requesting our dignitaries to be seated. Kindly be seated. कृपया विराजमान हो. धन्यवाद. And now, to take the program forward, as you all know that we are indeed delighted to have amongst us an esteemed panel of our dignitaries who have spared some of their precious time this morning and consented to be a part of the inaugural session of the third International Galvanizing Conference. At this hour, I request Adarniya Shri Sunil Duggal ji, CEO, Hindustan Zinc Limited, to welcome our distinguished chief guest for today, Adarniya Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Honorable Minister Petroleum, Natural Gas, Minister of Steel. We will welcome sir with a planter and a shawl as a token of our gratitude for sir's presence for our inaugural conference. और इस लम्हे में मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप लोगों की तालियां आज के इस लम्हे को बहुत यादगार बनाने वाली हैं. आई रिक्वेस्ट सुनील जी टू वेलकम धर्मेंद्र प्रधान सर. सर नमस्कार, स्वागत आपका. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर प्रेजेंस फॉर द इनॉग्रल सेशन ऑफ थर्ड इंटरनेशनल गैल्वेनाइजिंग कॉन्फ्रेंस. जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं. सर स्वागतम, सुस्वागतम. I now request Adarniya Shri Amit Agarwal ji, CEO, JSW Coated Products Limited, to welcome most respected Adarniya Fagan Singh Kulaste sir, Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Steel. जोरदार तालियों के साथ आप लोग इस लम्हे को यादगार बनाइए. जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं. सर स्वागत आपका. स्वागत सर आपका. वेलकम. I now request Dr. Andrew Green, Executive Director, International Zinc Association, to welcome most respected Raju Bish sir, Honorable Member of Parliament. और इस लम्हे में भी आप लोग अपनी तालियों के साथ आज के इस इनॉग्रल सेशन को यादगार बनाएं. वेलकम राजू सर एंड आई रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर ग्रीन टू डू द ऑनर्स टू वेलकम सर. स्वागतम, सुस्वागतम. जोरदार तालियां एक बार फिर. धन्यवाद. Once again, a warm welcome to our dignitaries here with us on the dais, and a warm welcome to all the esteemed audience present with us in this august hall. Dignitaries present with us, esteemed audience, as you all know that the second International Galvanizing Conference was held with a view to promote steel galvanizing in India under different applications by highlighting the global scenario and discussing new and upcoming technologies and applications in the field of galvanizing. With the success of the second International Galvanizing Conference, today International Zinc Association has organized the third edition of इंटरनेशनल गैल्वेनाइजिंग कॉन्फ्रेंस. हमारे लिए बहुत ही खुशी की बात है कि आज इस तीसरे अंतर्राष्ट्रीय गैल्वेनाइजिंग सम्मेलन 2019 में वी आर डिलाइटेड टू हैव द प्रेजेंस ऑफ टॉप एक्सपर्ट्स फ्रॉम अक्रॉस द ग्लोब, यूरोप, नॉर्थ अमेरिका, सार्क, एशिया, amongst others, who have gathered here today to discuss the directions of zinc and steel industry and also deliberate on the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for galvanizing in India. As you all know, New India is heralded towards new trajectories of growth. And in this realm, infrastructure development forms the core aspect. And today, this conference pledges to take India towards new highs with the deliberations in the realm of galvanizing and other aspects. I now call on Dr. Andrew Green, Executive Director, International Zinc Association, to join us for the welcome note. Requesting Dr. Green and Dr. Rahul Sharma, Executive Director, India Chapter, to join us and officially welcome all the delegates. Dr. Green, Dr. Sharma.
Good morning. Sir, I am delighted to welcome Honorable Union Minister for Steel, Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji. Minister of Steel, Shri Phaggan Singh Kulasthi sir. Honorable Member of Parliament, Shri Raju Bista ji. Executive Director of International Zinc Association, Dr. Andrew Green. Chief Executive Officer of Hindustan Zinc, Mr. Sunil Duggal. And Mr. Amit Agarwal, CEO of JSW Steel. Our Indian and overseas guests, scientists and researchers, academia, guests from industry, and my friends from print and media. On behalf of International Zinc Association, I heartily welcome you to this 2 days International Galvanizing Conference. मैं माननीय मंत्री का विशेष रूप से आभारी हूं जिन्होंने अपनी व्यस्तता के बावजूद इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आने का हमारा आमंत्रण स्वीकार किया। मैं आईजेड एवं ऑर्गेनाइजिंग समिति के अपने सभी सदस्यों की ओर से उनका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। सर, मैं आपका हृदय से आभारी हूँ। मैं आप सभी उपस्थित अतिथियों के प्रति भी आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ और स्वागत करता हूँ कि आप देश विदेश से यहाँ इस महत्वपूर्ण कॉन्फ्रेंस में पधारे हैं। इस 2 दिवसीय कॉन्फ्रेंस में दुनिया के गैल्वनाइजिंग और स्टील क्षेत्रों के महत्वपूर्ण विशेषज्ञों, वैज्ञानिकों और विभिन्न कंपनियों के अधिकारीगणों द्वारा गैल्वनाइजिंग के विभिन्न मुद्दों, उपयोगिताओं, विश्व स्तरीय तकनीक एवं देश व समाज को इसका किस प्रकार लाभ मिले जैसे विषयों पर विस्तृत चर्चा की जाएगी। एक बार पुनः मैं आप सबका हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। थैंक यू।
Namaste. It gives me great pleasure on behalf of the International Zinc Association to welcome my esteemed associates on the dais here, including Honorable Union Minister Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, Honorable Member of Parliament Mr. Raju Bista, CEO of Hindustan Zinc Sunil Duggal, Mr. Amit Agarwal from JSW, as well as the rest of our delegates and honored guests. This conference promises to bring a great deal of information, new ideas, and exciting promotional activities focused around the world of galvanizing steel. I'm very excited to be with you today. Every time I come to India, I am amazed by the beauty and the culture here. But as the head of the International Zinc Association, I am also excited about the opportunities represented here in India. And I'm pleased every time I come to see advances made in these different zinc opportunities. As we know, India is blessed to have the largest owned by zinc mine in the world. And Hindustan Zinc is also the largest zinc produced in the world, which makes India very well placed to take advantage of the opportunities that we'll be talking about today. Over 60% of the zinc market is associated with galvanizing of steel. And we like to say in the zinc industry that we are wed to steel, but steel is not married to zinc. This goes in hand with the fact that less than 10% of the global steel production is galvanized. What this represents to us, and I think to everyone here, is a tremendous opportunity to increase the use of zinc, to address the significant corrosion problem that exists, and to help society by creating a more sustainable and safer future with infrastructure, with cars, with bridges, and so forth. We have a very strong message to deliver about zinc being essential for life with our activities with UNICEF here in India and the rest of the world. But we also have messages about zinc sustainability, recyclability, and it providing for a modern society. And for zinc in India, I am very confident that there is a tremendous and exciting future that lies ahead if we can take advantage of the benefits of using zinc to galvanize steel with greater promotion and activity. And so with that, I welcome you to the conference. I hope you learn a great deal, and I hope you take advantage of this networking opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dhanyavad. And now to take the program forward, For the inaugural note, I'm delighted to request Adarniya Shri Sunil Duggal ji, CEO Hindustan Zinc Limited, to join us here and take the program forward. Sunil ji is Vedanta's global CEO for metals and mining for group companies, including Sterlite Copper, Vedanta Zinc International Africa Iron, Copper Mines of Tasmania, Australia. He is CEO and the full-time director of Hindustan Zinc Limited, a result-oriented professional with over 36 years of experience of leading high-performance teams and 20 years in the leadership position. Once again, जोरदार तालियों के साथ हम इस समय रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे आदरणीय सुनील जी for the inaugural note. Sunil ji, please.
Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting on dais, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Minister of Petroleum and Steel, Shri Fagun Singh ji, Minister of State for Steel, Shri Raju Bista, Member of Parliament, and MD Surya Roshni, my friend Amit Agarwal, CEO JSW, Coated Steel, my friend Andrew, Rahul ji, ladies and gentlemen. I think today is a very pious day, and I am really thankful from the bottom of my heart, expressing my thanks to Minister present and such a large gathering assembled over here. I have been attending this conference every year, but I think the kind of attendance, participation from the industry, policy body, government people, I would say it's a very pious day. I also would like to say that zinc is a pious metal, and I call zinc as pious metal, green metal, because what is the duty of zinc? The duty of zinc is to come to the protection and rescue of every other metal. We have been partnering with International Zinc Association, steel industry, other galvanizers, and have been developing the usage of zinc in India. And this conference has always been helpful. We have been partnering with IZA to bring the global best practices. So, sir, one figure I would like to mention over here, and you may be astonished to hear that figure. I was thinking in my mind that we lose around 3 to 4% of our GDP because of corrosion in India. But actual figure is 4.5%. This figure may not be known to many of us, but this is a very, very astonishing figure. And you can understand, you can imagine what this loss or the saving in loss can do to us. But I am also happy to say that the hard work of IZA and all of you have brought some results in India, some awareness. I would like to quote 2-3 examples through this. We have been talking to Railway Ministry, trying to tell them that what the world does. The world galvanizes the railway tracks, and by showcasing that what value it can bring, what safety it can bring, how the maintenance of the railway track, which is very, very labor intensive, it's a remotely located, how this can go up. But I am very, very happy to tell you that Railway Ministry has accepted the suggestions, and they have partnered with Steel Authority now for galvanization of railway tracks. They have also partnered with JSPL for production of galvanization of railway lines, and railway has also decided that they will galvanize the hardware, because of which the maintenance and the safety of the trains will become much higher. And sir, I also want to tell through this forum that if we have to increase the speed of the trains, one of the basic requirement is that we have to galvanize our railway tracks. Otherwise, the speed with which we'll have to run the train will not be able to maintain the speed of the train, because the vibration of the rails can become much higher. So this is one of the success story. The other success story I would like to mention is the galvanization of cars. Few years back, we were not at all galvanizing any part of the car. We were only using the die-cast alloys for production of the some of the showy parts like handles, grills. But with the recent data, I can tell you that we have started galvanizing to the extent of 10 to 15% of the parts of the cars. The bottom of the car which gets corroded and it becomes accident prone, and when the car meets with the accident, the number of people who die because of the accident of the car are much higher. And with this, the auto industry has understood that how they have to benchmark with the global players. But astonishingly, you'll be surprised to know that the percentage of car which is galvanized for the domestic car usage is only 10 to 15%, against 70 to 80% of the galvanization we do for the cars which are exported by the same manufacturers, against a global practice of the global benchmarking of 90% of the cars are galvanized. So this is also a success story, I would say. The third success story, before I end, I would say that the roof sheeting which we used to do, there was no regulation in the country that what is the thickness of the coating we have to provide. And in our childhood, we must be seeing that these galvanized sheets used to have the zinc coating stay on the sheets for years together. But as we grew up, we saw that as the sheets were used, the galvanizing coating on the sheets used to go away, because people started optimizing the thickness of galvanizing on the sheet. And the galvanization used to give way within 2 to 3 years. And I am happy to say that the Government of India has come out with the regulation that what is the zinc intensity which has to be provided on these sheets. So these are some of the examples, I would say. But there are other success stories also, like, this Lotus Temple in Delhi. It is made with galvanization of the bars, and the structure is guaranteed for 5,000 years. Similarly, there are temples which are being constructed in India which are being guaranteed for 5,000 years. But astonishingly, the builders in the coastal cities do not use the galvanized bars, compromising the safety of the structure. And you must have seen in the coastal areas like Mumbai, the repair of the buildings and the structures and the number of buildings which fall in the rainy season are very, very high compared to the other cities. So there is a lot to learn from what the global world does. The minister was asking me how the consumption in India can go up because of galvanization. So, sir, we can save a large percentage of GDP because of usage of zinc. But the understanding within the government, regulatory bodies, the general public, and the duty of all of us as the zinc manufacturer and the International Zinc Association and the steel industry is very high. And I am hopeful that all of us will play a part in bringing a lot of awareness. I could have in the public quoted many more examples where the zinc usage can bring a better holistic cost of the life cycle cost of the structures can go down, how the safety of the high-rise structures can become better. So we have a duty to do, and I'm sure that this conference will be very helpful to come out with the suggestions that how we have to travel our path forward. So all the best, and thank you very much.
Dhanyavad, sir. Thank you very much. And now to take the deliberations forward, for the guest of honor address, I would request most respected Shri Fagan Singh Kulaste sir, Honorable Minister of State Steel, Government of India, to join us here for his remarks. कार्यक्रम में हम अब इस समय आदरणीय श्री फगन सिंह कुलस्ते सर से अनुरोध करेंगे कि अपने विचारों से हमें मार्गदर्शन प्रदान करें। एक बार फिर जोरदार तालियों के साथ हम इस समय स्वागत करेंगे आवर डिस्टिंग्विश्ड गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर फगन सिंह कुलस्ते सर। नमस्कार सर।
तृतीय अंतर्राष्ट्रीय गैल्वेनाइजिंग सम्मेलन का इसे 2 दिवसीय कार्यक्रम में विशेषकर हमारे भारत के हमारे इस्पात मंत्री, पेट्रोलियम मंत्री आदरणीय धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी और इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे माननीय सांसद राजीव बिस्ता जी, डॉक्टर ड्राइव ग्रीन कार्यकारी निदेशक इंटरनेशनल जिंक एसोसिएशन श्री राजीव दुग्गल जी, मुख्य कार्यकारी निदेशक हिंदुस्तान जिंक लिमिटेड डॉक्टर राहुल शर्मा जी, निदेशक श्री अमित अग्रवाल जी, JSW, और यहाँ पर विभिन्न क्षेत्रों से यहाँ पर उपस्थित सभी प्रतिनिधि भाई और बहनों, जिंक एक बहुआयामी धातु है जिसका उपयोग दवाओं तथा उर्वरकों को बनाए आने में एक उसका विशेष महत्व होता है, किंतु इसका सबसे बड़ा जो व्यावसायिक उपयोग है स्टील को जंग निरोधी बनाने का किया जाता है। और इससे आप ये कह सकते हैं कि जो हमारे स्टील के क्षेत्र में जो हमारा सबसे बड़ा अगर शत्रु है और उससे कई ऐसे क्षेत्र प्रभावित होते हैं। दुनिया के अधिकांश देश अपनी अधोसंरचनाओं विकास में इसका जितना उपयोग है विनाइलिंग इस्पात का, साधारणतः इस्पात उपयोग करने में उसमें जिससे लगता है जिससे अधोसंरचना विकास की जो आयु है, क्षमता है, वो कहीं वो हरासमेंट करता है, उसकी आयु कम करता है। ये हम सबके लिए भी चिंता का विषय है और इस्पात में जंग की समस्या के कारण हमें प्रतिवर्ष इसका जो नुकसान उठाना पड़ता है और यह एक अत्यंत गंभीर मुद्दा है, हमारे सामने एक समस्या है। और इसे सम्मेलन में मैं विशेषकर आप सबसे इस बात के लिए आग्रह करना चाहता हूं कि जब अधोसंरचना विकास की हम बात करते हैं और इस लड़ाई से भी हमको जूझना है और इसको मुक्त करना है, तो ये जो 2 दिन के हमारे सम्मेलन में इसके जो सुझाव, इसके अर्थपूर्ण जो एस्पेक्ट्स हैं, उसके बारे में भी हमको विचार करना और उस एक निष्कर्ष तक पहुंचना। और इसलिए हाइजिंग स्टील का ही उपयोग करना चाहिए। ये हमारी जो आज की जो आवश्यकता है और इस्पात विकास की बुनियादी आवश्यकता और इस्पात क्षेत्र के विकास तथा देश की अर्थव्यवस्था को इस बात का संकेत और दर्शाता भी है। मित्रों, देश में हिंदुस्तान जिंक लिमिटेड सबसे बड़े उत्पादन इकाई है जो अपने आप में उत्पादन से भारत में जिंक की जो पूर्ति करने में सक्षम है। साथ ही ये जिंक आधारित उद्योगों, आधुनिकतम जो हमारी नई तकनीकी है, टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग और विस्तार भी धीरे धीरे बढ़ रहा है। भारत में कुल 8 लाख टन जस्ते का जो प्रतिवर्ष उत्पादन होता है, जो कि हिंदुस्तान जिंक लिमिटेड द्वारा उत्पादित किया जाता है, और भारत 2.5 लाख टन जस्ते का जो निर्यात करता है और 1.5 लाख टन जस्ते का आयात करता है। भारत में जस्ते का कुल वार्षिक जो व्यापार है लगभग 15,000 करोड़ रुपए का है। विश्व में कुल 130 लाख टन जस्ते का उत्पादन प्रतिवर्ष होता है और इसका वैश्विक व्यापार लगभग 2.6 लाख करोड़ रुपए प्रतिवर्ष है। इस्पात और जिंक उत्पादन में आत्मनिर्भर, किंतु हम इसकी पूरी क्षमता का उपयोग जितना करना चाहिए वो हम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। हमें इसकी क्षमता का विस्तार एवं क्वालिटी इस्पात तैयार कर अधोसंरचना विकास को गति देना एक अपने आप में भारतीय परिप्रेक्ष्य में जो आम आदमी की जो ज़रूरत है उसके अनुरूप इस्पात का उत्पादन करना होगा। और ये हम सबको मिलकर के जो आज की जो आबादी है और जितनी जो आवश्यकता है, रिक्वायरमेंट है, चाहे मकानों का हो और उसके जो हमारे समाधान हैं, ग्रुप हाउसेस है, और इन सब परिस्थितियों को अगर हम देखें तो इसका एक उपयुक्त सुनिश्चित करना उसको और उस समय सीमा के अंदर स्टील का उपयोग सुनिश्चित करना, ये हमारे लिए बहुत ही आवश्यक है ताकि संरचना दीर्घकालिक और उपयोगी सुरक्षित हो सके। आप सब जानते हैं कि खनिज, लोहा, कोयला, तांबा, जस्ता, अभ्रक आदि आंतरिक व वन क्षेत्रों में ही पाए जाते हैं और इसका उपयोग अगर हम ये कहें कि पूरे ग्रामीण अंचल हमारे जनजातीय क्षेत्र हैं, पहाड़ी क्षेत्र हैं, और इन क्षेत्रों में पूरे हिंदुस्तान के अंदर, भारत के अंदर अगर देखें तो लगभग यही क्षेत्र है। परंतु दूसरा जो पक्ष है उनके विकास और कल्याण, इसको भी हमको ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा। यही ऐसे क्षेत्र हैं जो अभी मुख्यधारा से थोड़ा कटे हुए हैं, उसका कारण भी है और इसलिए इसके बारे में भी हमको विचार करना, ये भी एक पक्ष है। जहाँ तक ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों का सवाल है, विकास को वहाँ तक पहुँचाना और उससे जुड़ना। जब हमारे सारे रिसोर्सेस इस प्रकार के क्षेत्रों से हम जब तय करते हैं तो उसका दूसरा पक्ष भी हमारे लिए उतना ही महत्वपूर्ण हो जाता है कि वहाँ के जो इफेक्टेड लोग हैं, प्रभावित लोग हैं, उनके उससे जुड़ना और उनके आर्थिक दृष्टि से उनको कैसे हम सक्षम बना सकते हैं, हम किसी काम से जोड़ सकते हैं, जो भी संभावनाएं, और उसको अगर हम ध्यान में रखेंगे तो उसको और बेहतर हम बनाने का जो प्रयास करते हैं उसमें हम सब सहभागी बने। जहाँ तक कि मैं उद्योग घरानों से भी आह्वान करता हूँ, कई बार हम लोग अलग अलग प्रदेशों के अंदर, स्टेट के क्षेत्र में, देश के अंदर जब इस प्रकार के उद्योग धंधों के बारे में, देश की तरक्की और विकास के बारे में बात करते हैं तो हम लोगों से अपेक्षा करते हैं, आह्वान करते हैं इस बात को लेकर के आप आइए, आप सबका हम स्वागत करते हैं और मिलकर के इस भारत के निर्माण में हम सबका जो योगदान है, रोल, वो महत्वपूर्ण हो जाता है। इसलिए मैं आप सबसे भी आह्वान इस बात के लिए करना चाहता हूँ कि आप आइए और आगे हम सब मिलकर के इस देश को बढ़ाएं। मेरा आप सभी प्रतिनिधियों से, एसोसिएशन के मित्रों से भी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन में सभी जो तकनीकी क्षेत्र, आर्थिक, सामाजिक महत्व के जो मुद्दे हैं उनके विस्तार के बारे में जो भी इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के अंदर जो चर्चाएं हों उनको सूचीबद्ध करना और आने वाले भविष्य के लिए हम उसको और बेहतर कैसे कर सकते हैं, इस प्रकार की अपेक्षा करते हुए मैं आप सब एसोसिएशन के मित्रों से भी आह्वान करते हुए और इससे सम्मेलन की सफलता की कामना करते हुए अपने इन शब्दों को विराम देता हूँ। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Ladies and gentlemen,
Many
distinguished
thanks.
dignitaries present with us here on the dais, esteemed audience, this is going to be a very special moment now. एक बहुत ही खास क्षण होने वाला है इस समय, because we'll be having the release of the international magazine come report on the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead for galvanizing in India. I request our volunteers to please join us and present the dignitaries a copy of our international magazine which will be released today. I request Dr. Andrew, Dr. Rahul Sharma to request our dignitaries to release this magazine on this inaugural session of our third International Galvanizing Conference. Once again requesting respected Dharmendra Pradhan sir, requesting respected Fagan Singh Kulaste sir, requesting respected Raju sir, requesting Sunil sir, Amit ji, dignitaries इस समय आपके गरिमे हाथों से आज ये अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मैगजीन, वो रिपोर्ट जो कि गैल्वनाइजिंग के क्षेत्र में जो विभिन्न कार्य हैं, जो विभिन्न चुनौतियां हैं, जो विभिन्न अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं, उस पर विचार विमर्श का संचालन प्रस्तुत कर रही है। और मैं चाहती हूँ जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं। दैट अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इशू टुडे, the launch of our international magazine and report looking at the longevity and predictability of hot dip galvanizing. तालियां जोरदार साथियों, जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you so much dignitaries for doing the honors. And now the moment that we all have been waiting for, वो क्षण जिसका हमें सभी को इंतजार है. As you all know, New India is headed towards new trajectories of growth. And in this realm, industrial development in various sectors of the industry is very essential. Galvanizing too will be very important here. और यहाँ पर इस विषय पर जानने के लिए हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं आज के हमारे खास विशिष्ट अतिथि, our respected chief guest for today, most respected आदरणीय श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी, Honorable Minister for Petroleum, Natural Gas and Steel. सभी उपस्थित अतिथियों से अनुरोध है तालियों के साथ इस समय मंच पर हमारे साथ स्वागत करें. नमस्कार सर, स्वागत आपका.
Sri Fagan Singh Kulaste, Minister of State, Minister of Steel, my dear friend, younger brother Raju Bis, Honorable Member of Parliament, and MD of Surya Rosni, Mr. Sunil Duggal, CEO of Hindustan Zinc, Mr. Andrew Green from International Zinc Association, Mr. Amit Agarwal, CEO JSW Limited, my dear friend Rahul Sharma from International Zinc Association, ladies and gentlemen, friends from media, I welcome all of you to the 3rd International Galvanizing Conference, which will be here for 2 days. When last month, dear Rahul met me and explained me about the zinc industry of the country, business plan of the country. As a learner, I thought I must attend the conference. I must know from general knowledge point of view. My understanding of zinc was that the galvanized sheets, if the iron steel sheet will be galvanized, will be zinc coated, there will be less corrosion. From that point, the in charge of steel sector of country, I am here to understand what are the total value chain, how is our Indian industry, what is the need, what is the role of government, how can we jointly work. Because here also everybody mentioned one issue. If this industry will grow, the size of industry will grow, apart from different benefit, one thing is certain, the longevity of steel will increase. That means corrosion can be handled, and there is a direct positive impact on our GDP. I am told India is the 4th largest zinc producer of the world. In India, steel intensity is very low, looking into global consumption trend. In the lighter mood, I was talking to Mr. Duggal. I was telling him, I think zinc or galvanized coated steel is a poor man's steel in comparison to stainless steel. The cost for it is low. Now, the common man's status is reflected if he is putting his roof from thatch house to galvanized sheet, and later on the new trend is galvalume steels. More shades of use can be increased through synergizing or imputing zinc in the steel industry. Today steel industry is facing its own challenges. There is a surplus production in the world. After China-America dispute on world trade, their respective trade, the first area of challenge, I can say, let's say casualty, first area of challenge is steel sector. The Chinese export to different part of world, especially America, regarding steel has been in a way in a negative mode. It has its other impact, cyclical or correlated impact in Indian steel industry. Today we are the number 2 steel manufacturer of the world. This industry is directly related to steel industry. If Indian steel industry will be flourish, if it will be protected, then galvanized or zinc related industry will also be protected. The second challenge is how to produce more galvanized steel. I agree, I totally agree. Looking into India's coastal line, more than 8 major states are coastal state of the country. Our responsibility is not only to take care of our own Indian consumers, gradually for the different products. India is a natural producing point for some of the Asian countries, some of the African countries, some of the Central Asian countries also. I don't know what is the finished product export quantity of your industry to the world market, but I see, I deal with the petroleum product of the country last 5 years. I am looking into that sector. Though we are importing crude oil, but there is a huge scope for exporting petroleum products to the different part of world apart from our own market. Friends, what are the new opportunity in the world trade? There are some international geopolitical issues are there. We can't help that. It will take its own course, it will own path. In the present day global trade, my understanding, you all are more experienced and expert than me on this issue, but my experience of global trade for next few years, I handle energy. In energy, today we are the number 3 consumer of the world. And by next 2 decades, India will be the number 1 energy consumer of the world. When you're talking about the more energy consumption, where it will be consumed? Yes, it will be consumed in the transportation, it will be consumed in our household electrification, but primary consumption will come from industry. What are the industry? Industry related to manufacturing, industry related to service, industry related to housing, industry related to capital good production. When there is a well-established trend and evidence and research for the future prediction of the more energy consumption, I am confident, I am believe, more steel, more special steel like galvanized steel will also increase. Today the growth is around 4-5%, and Duggalji was telling me it can easily go up to double digit with a little effort. It's a win-win situation for everybody. More protective material we will produce. If we calculate the life cycle of the material, today it may be little bit costly, but for the looking into the entire life cycle of the commodity or product, it will be very profitable, very economical to the end user. What are the challenges then? If there is a market, there is a global market, because due to, as I said, due to some international challenges, China has its own limitation. There is emerging trend, China has its own limitation. India has a low capital, low price manufacturing opportunities are there. Our cost of production can be low. There are plenty of raw material available in India. For the materials, capacious manpower are here, vast coastline are available, and there is a domestic market. If China, if Japan, Korea, these are two, as a student of public policy, I always think, and also recently Vietnam and Indonesia. If these states, by importing iron ore, aluminium, bauxite, coal, LNG, these two economies, Japan and Korea, are processing materials of the world. And they are the best supplier, quality product supplier to the world market. Why cannot we do that here in India? And I see an opportunity to this community, looking into our own domestic consumption size, looking into our neighbors' requirement, looking into our productivity cost advantage, looking into our intellectual capacity, looking into our managerial expertise. We must create a ecosystem of global economics of material, especially commodity like galvanized industry or zinc industry. This kind of conference must expose our potential to world market, and we must link our aspiration to the world market that way. Prime Minister has an ambitious vision in front of all of us. We must achieve the target of 5 trillion economy. Friends, 5 trillion economy is not a mere slogan. It has its application are there, applied parts are there. We must, as a producing group, as a manufacturing group, as a processor group, as a value addition group, we must detail our strategy. And I hope this 2 days conference is going to deliberate all such issues. And steel is a decontrolled commodity. I am thankful to all of you. You have invited us, and we are committed not to create problem for you. And Prime Minister's vision, government should come out of people's life. Governance process should be there. Well-led process should be there. Government's control should go away. And on behalf of government, I am committing myself, there will be less control from government. Government will be your friend, government will be your facilitator, government will create a good, conducive investment atmosphere for all of you. And please reimagine your strategy, how we can fit our ambition in the 5 trillion journey. And I am confident there is a market. With my limited understanding, there is a huge market, there can be a huge growth in zinc industry, in the galvanized industry. People are getting economically empowered gradually. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has a great potential of your product. Poor man will build its own house, and Government of India is committed to provide Pakka house, permanent house, all its citizens by 2022. Here is a growth. Government of India is committed to provide piped drinking water to all the household. Here is a growth. From petroleum product point of view, recently we have an ambitious plan to lay down pipe natural gas, city gas distribution network to 400 districts out of 600 districts. 70% of India's population will be provided with pipe natural gas. That means there is a galvanized pipe scopes are there. So friends, let's commit ourselves today. We will give high quality, low cost product to our citizen, to our consumer. The life standard of common man should increase. He should feel empowered. I am also living a prestigious life, and you have a role. And I wish all the success for this 2 days conference. I'm again thankful to all of you for inviting me. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, sir. Everyone, a thunderous applause for that very motivating and inspiring words from sir, and for the commitment from the government side for great development of our industry. At this hour, I would request Adarni Shri Sunil Duggal ji, CEO Hindustan Zinc Limited, to present a shield as a token of our gratitude at the 3rd International Galvanizing Conference to our distinguished chief guest for today, most respected Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji. Sir, once again, बहुत धन्यवाद आपका. Thank you so much for that guidance, for that words of motivation. Once again, everyone, as we present the shield, आप सभी से तालियों के लिए अनुरोध है. धन्यवाद, sir. I also request now Adarni Shri Amit Agarwal ji to present a token of our gratitude, a shield to most respected Shri Fagan Singh Kulaste sir. Sir, धन्यवाद आपका. आपने हमें सही मार्गदर्शन दिया. And I request Amit ji to do the honors. जोरदार तालियां once again. धन्यवाद फगन सर, बहुत बहुत आभार आपका. I request Dr. Andrew Green, Executive Director, International Zinc Association, to present a shield at this hour to most respected Adarni Shri Raju Bista sir. Thank you so much. I request Dr. Green to do the honors. A round of applause. जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं. I request Dr. Rahul Sharma ji, India Director India Chapter, International Zinc Association, to present a token of our gratitude to Adarni Shri Sunil Duggal ji. Rahul ji, please do the honors for Adarni Sunil ji. And तालियां होनी चाहिए इस लम्हे में भी जोरदार. Ladies and gentlemen, सभी उपस्थित मेहमान, as you know that इस इनॉग्रल सेशन में बहुत ही खास विशेष अतिथि हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं, जिन्होंने ना कि हमें मार्गदर्शन दिया परंतु सरकार की ओर से पूरा सहयोग का भी वादा किया है. ये हमारे लिए बहुत ही खुशी व प्रसन्नता की बात है. A matter of great privilege, pride and honor for us. And on this note, I would request आदरणीय Raju Bista sir, Honorable Member of Parliament and MD Surya Roshni Limited, to join us here for the very special words of thanks from the industry. जोरदार तालियों के साथ requesting Raju Bista sir to present the words of thanks. Raju sir, please.
नमस्कार, गुड मॉर्निंग. परम आदरणीय धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी, केंद्रीय मंत्री और साथ ही राज्य मंत्री श्री फग्गन सिंह कुलस्ते जी, सुनील दुग्गल जी, अमित जी, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग मिस्टर एंड्रयू, सभी डिस्टिंग्विश्ड गेस्ट, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, बहुत सारे बातें आपके बीच में हो गई और इस तरह के कॉन्फ्रेंस का मैंने खुद काफ़ी समय तक अनुभव किया है, क्योंकि इंडिया के अंदर में जो लाइटिंग की इंडस्ट्री है एल्कोमा, उसका मैं प्रेसिडेंट भी हूँ अभी करेंटली. और मैंने देखा इस तरह के जो कॉन्फ्रेंस होते हैं उसमें बहुत कुछ हमें सीखने को मिलता है. बहुत सारी टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में हमको जानकारी मिलती है, बहुत सारे नए मार्केट के बारे में जानकारी मिलती है, बहुत सारे इनोवेशन के बारे में हमें ज्ञान होता है. तो मैं चाहूँगा कि ये 2 दिवसीय जो आपका कॉन्फ्रेंस है ये सफल हो और इसका आप सबको लाभ हो. ये एक विन विन सिचुएशन है जहाँ जिसके ऊपर एक ही मंच में मैन्युफैक्चरर और इंडस्ट्री भी है और आपके साथ यहाँ पे एंड यूजर भी है. तो ये हम दोनों के लिए एक विन विन सिचुएशन है. बढ़िया क्वालिटी की चीज़ हम कैसे उसको मैन्युफैक्चर करें और हमारे जो ग्राहक हैं, जो एंड यूजर है, उनको अच्छी क्वालिटी के प्रोडक्ट जो है सस्ते से सस्ते दाम में कैसे मिले. देखिए, जिंक अगर हम सिर्फ ये कहेंगे कि ये स्टील पाइप में या किसी स्टील के उसमें यूज़ होता है तो शायद ये गलत होगा. बहुत सारी एप्लीकेशन इसके हैं और फार्मास्यूटिकल जो मेडिसिन बनाने के लिए भी इसका उपयोग होता है। और मैं आईजेट इंटरनेशनल जिंक एसोसिएशन को बधाई देना चाहूँगा। मुझे पता चला खास तौर पे एक ये मुहिम चला रहे हैं जिसके अंदर में जिंक सेव किड्स, यानी बच्चे के मौत हो जाते हैं और उसको बचाने के लिए इन्होंने ये बीड़ा उठाया है और यूनिसेफ के साथ मिलकर के ये कार्यक्रम आप लोग कर रहे हैं। तो मैं और जैसे स्टील के अंदर में इसके यूजेस होते हैं, तो अभी बैठे बैठे सुनील जी भी ये बात बता रहे थे कि हम सब जानते हैं जो स्टेनलेस स्टील होता है उससे बहुत ही सस्ता पड़ता है, लेस मेंटेनेंस होता है और कोरोजन नहीं होता और रिलायबल और लंबा जो है लाइफ ये जिंक हमको स्टील के सब प्रोडक्ट से मिलता है। और बहुत सारे जो डेवलप देश है, कंट्रीज़ है, उसके अंदर में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के अंदर में जिंक का उपयोग होना ये मैंडेटरी है, लेकिन ये हिंदुस्तान में अभी तक नहीं है। मुझे लगता है आने वाले समय में ये भी अवश्य होगा। और जैसा भी सारे जो अतिथि बता रहे थे, पोटेंशियल बहुत है क्योंकि 8000 किलोमीटर से ज़्यादा का डिस्टेंस जो है समुद्र तट पे हिंदुस्तान का है और वहाँ कोरोजन ज़्यादा होता है, तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा क्षेत्र है जहाँ पे इसका उपयोग हो सकता है। थाउजेंड्स ऑफ करोड़ की जो बात आ रही थी, जीडीपी की 3 या 4 या 4.25% तक हम बढ़ोतरी कर सकते हैं। जो ये जो लॉसेस होता है अगर उसको हम रोके तो मुझे लगता है इंडस्ट्री ने और सब ने मिलके इस नाते सोचना चाहिए। और हिंदुस्तान की जो सरकार है, आदरणीय मोदी जी की जो गवर्नमेंट है, मैं भी उनका एक सदस्य हूँ, तो वो स्वयं भी बहुत पुश कर रहे हैं कि इंडस्ट्री को हम आगे ले जाएं। अभी साहब ने जैसा बताया एपीआई की बात उन्होंने की, हाउसिंग फॉर ऑल की बात उन्होंने की, और हर घर जल जो सपना मोदी जी का है उसके अंदर में ये जिंक कोटेड पाइप की काफ़ी बड़ी खपत होने वाली है आने वाले समय में। अभी भी कई क्षेत्रों में, जैसे हम खास तौर पे क्योंकि हम सब लोग उठते बैठते जिंक की बात करते हैं तो हमें इसके बारे में जानकारी है, लेकिन अपने देश में अभी भी बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे हैं जिनको जिंक के बारे में अवेयरनेस नहीं है। तो मुझे लगता है इस तरह के कार्यक्रम दिल्ली या बॉम्बे बड़े शहरों में तो ठीक है, छोटे छोटे शहरों के अंदर में भी हमें इस तरह के कॉन्फ्रेंस करनी चाहिए जिससे लोगों को अवेयरनेस ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मिले। अंत में मैं आप सबका धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा आदरणीय श्री मंत्री जी का। उन्होंने व्यस्ततम समय में से समय निकाल करके इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आप आए। आदरणीय श्री फग्गन सिंह कुलस्ते जी का और आईजेटे का और हिंदुस्तान जिंक का और सभी मीडिया साथियों का और जो इंडस्ट्री के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है उनका भी, और जो इस कार्यक्रम को सफल बनाने के लिए सारे जो युवा साथी लगे मैं उनका भी धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा। और मैं भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि ये 2 दिन की आपकी कॉन्फ्रेंस सफल हो और जो भी लोग इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बड़ी आशाएं और अपेक्षा लेकर के आए हैं उनकी सारी जो इच्छाएं हैं वो जरूर पूरी हो। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, धन्यवाद। एंड लास्टली बट श्योरली नॉट द लीस्ट, मैं आदरणीय अमित अग्रवाल जी, सीईओ JSW कोटेड प्रोडक्ट्स लिमिटेड से अनुरोध करूंगी कि इस समय मंच पर यहाँ पर वो धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव रखें। रिक्वेस्टिंग टू टेंडर द वोट ऑफ थैंक्स मोस्ट रिस्पेक्टेड अमित अग्रवाल जी। तालियों के साथ एक बार फिर अमित जी का हम स्वागत।
Good morning, everyone. First of all, respected Shri Honorable Dharmendra Pradhan ji, Honorable Minister of Steel and Petroleum, Shri Faggan Singh ji, Honorable State Minister for Steel, Shri Raju Vishta ji, MP and MD of Surya Roshni, Shri Sunil Duggal ji, MD Hindustan Zinc, Mr. Andrew Green, International Zinc Association, and Mr. Rahul also from International Zinc Association. First of all, it is a great opportunity to see people from zinc industry and steel industry sitting together, because as it was clearly mentioned that zinc and steel go hand in hand. It is very clear that at this juncture, when the India is growing at a phenomenal pace and we have the vision of achieving a $5 trillion economy, we need to produce steel which is long lasting and at affordable price. Therefore, we at JSW, if you look at our sheets, the roofings we are going to enhance our capacity of color coating sheets from 700,000 to 1.5 million ton. And across the country, the whole production, every affordable housing will use such sheets. If you talk about the affordability, everybody wants to get an appliance, a refrigerator, a microwave, all the appliances which is available, and this is all possible through the steel which has a galvanizing or galvalume, and then after that the color, so that we get a long-lasting steel. What is also important for all of us to understand that India being a large country, we need to have a good reach of steel reaching to the smallest and location. Therefore, we are going and enhancing our reach to the level of 8,000 retailers all across the country so that steel can be made available. Otherwise, the biggest challenge people used to face was steel was not being made available for consumption. And as far as the growth potential is concerned, today our steel consumption of coated is just about 7 kgs in the country. If you talk about developed nations, people talk about around 30 kgs per capita. So we have a huge potential to go 4x, and we all are geared with the collaboration of the zinc industry as well as IZA, which is promoting zinc, and as well as the guidance and the support given by the Government of India in order to enhance this. And we are very fortunate to have the auspicious presence of our Honorable Minister to give us the guidance. And we thank you for your presence and look forward and wishing all the members here for 2-day great success and meet all your expectations. Thank you very much.
Once again, everyone, a round of applause as we come towards the conclusion of our inaugural session. Dhanyavad Amit ji. And now, as the dignitaries are being escorted by Rahul ji and Dr. Andrew, I request everyone to be seated. Once again, bahut dhanyavad. Thank you to all our dignitaries for sparing some of their precious time from their busy schedule and consenting to be a part of the inaugural session of our 3rd International Galvanizing Conference. साथियों, ज़ोरदार तालियों से आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि हम धन्यवाद इस समय प्रस्तुत करेंगे. Thank you so much to our dignitaries. Thank you. And with this, we come towards the conclusion of our inaugural session. We invite everyone to join us for the tea break, a networking tea break, and the tea break is only for 15 minutes. Requesting everyone to be back soon for our first session, where we'll be looking at the global market updates and global zinc applications aspect. Requesting everyone to join us for tea in the pre-function area. Dhanyavad, thank you. एक बार फिर आप सभी लोगों से अनुरोध है, प्लीज़ हॉल में हमारे साथ शामिल हों. कृपया बैठ जाएं. हम लोग सेशन 2 की शुरुआत कर रहे हैं. एक बहुत ही अमूल्य सेशन जहां पर हमें नए दृष्टिकोण, नए विचारों के बारे में पता लगेगा. A session where we'll be having new insights, new perspectives. Once again, requesting everyone from the exhibition area, requesting everyone from the pre-function tea area, please join us here in the main hall, main function area. Kindly be seated. Thank you. And before we commence, please keep the mobiles and communication devices on the silent mode. Dhanyavad. Now, this session is about setting the context, global market updates, global zinc applications. And in this session, we have an esteemed panel of dignitaries who will be there amongst us. As I call on, Adarni Shri Amit Agarwal ji, please join us, CEO JSW Coated Products Limited. Amit ji से request है, एक बार फिर सस्वागत है आपका. तालियां हो जाएं जोरदार. Come on everyone, a round of applause to welcome Amit ji with us on stage. I also request Dr. Andrew Green, Executive Director, International Zinc Association. Dr. Green, please join us here on stage. Dr. Andrew Green is Executive Director of International Zinc Association, who manages day-to-day activities within IZA. Acha, So at this hour, we'll be having the remarks by Adharaniya Amit Agarwal ji, who has over 28 years of experience across many industries like steel, aviation, renewable energy, and senior leadership levels. He has rich experience in various functions like corporate finance, sales and marketing, revenue. He's worked for Jet Airways as Deputy CEO and CEO. Before that, he was associated with Sulzon Energy, SR Group and ArcelorMittal. He's currently CEO, JSW Steel Coated Products Limited. Requesting once again Amit ji to please join us for the opening remarks on Indian steel industry. Sir, welcome. साथियों तालियों के साथ एक बार फिर भी वेलकम अमित सर विद अस.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I am once again delighted to join you and talk about the steel industry, which we are all a significant part of and is a fundamental core to any economy for its growth and taking it forward. If we look at the demand, what we see in the country, we have been witnessing a decent demand growth in the country over the last few years. And if I talk about in terms of our capacity level in the country, we have gone to 142 million ton. Against that capacity, which is being produced over different routes, we have a production capacity of 111 million ton, which translates effectively only 73 kgs on a per capita basis. But if you see the global demand, global consumption, it is in the range of 350 to 375 kgs for different countries in the world, which are very, very well developed and so on. So therefore, for us, there exists clearly a huge opportunity in terms of growth, because we are, let's say, have a potential to grow from a 70 kgs to a 300 kg. And as we all know that the Government of India, as per their national steel policy, have envisioned a 300 million ton going to be a capacity by 2030. So we are clearly on the path to get there. In terms of the trade, if we look at it, we have been seeing that there has been a huge amount of imports coming into the country, and slowly the indigenous Indian steel producers have been able to demonstrate their technological advancement and participate in the product development in order to reduce some of the imports. And we are also very well placed as a country and as JSWs to export our products, and we are the largest exporter globally in terms of achieving a high level of exports. If we see in the last year, we have imported around 8.8 million ton, and we have also exported 8.5 million ton. That shows the net, we are almost there. In terms of making this ability, we further are going to enhance our capacity, spend a lot of effort in terms of research and development, technological improvement, product innovation in order to reduce the dependence on the import and become a major player going forward. We all know that India is now the second largest steel producer in the world after China. When we talk about galvanizing, it is very important to understand that the significant part is in the coated steel, where we see globally the trend has been an increase of around 5% year-on-year basis over the last few years. From a 2005, you look at it, 97 million ton has moved up to 167 million ton. That is clearly reflected upon that some of the developing economies are trying to build their economy in terms of better roofing style, better appliance, because the affluence in the country of the people are increasing. That helps in increasing the consumption of these products. If we talk about India per se, a total capacity of coated being a 10.8 million ton, of which GI, GL, galvanized and galvalume is in the range of 6.7, and the color market is in the 2.7 million ton. What is also very important to understand that this color is going to be the major path forward for the roofing sheets, because in that roofing sheets, people who were used to doing a galvanized sheets have slowly started to move to a color sheet. And the people who used to have a thatched roof are moving to a galvanized sheet. So effectively, what is happening is these sheets are enabling a long-lasting sheets, and the overall cost of maintenance or ownership of such roofing is reducing. In terms of imports, there still continues to be import, and what is more challenging is if you look at the defective imports, which is at 17%. You know, that defective imports comes into the country as a cheaper product and actually spoils the pricing scenario as well as the quality of the product, inferior product into the market. In terms of regional distribution, we all see categorically between west and north, there is a significant distribution between 28 and 30%. What is weak is the east side. However, we are seeing a good demand coming up from the east side as well. And what we are building capacity is more and more to substitute the imports. In terms of coated steel production, if you look at it, there has been a consistent phase by increasing the production from a 5.7 million in 11-12 to almost 8.8 million ton in 18-19, which reflects almost 6% growth. This shows that we are growing at a pace which meets the demand of the country, and we are well poised to take the challenge of further growth. In terms of the demand, if you look at it, there has been a growth which is partly met by the producers in the India, and the balance quantity is getting to an extent imported. In terms of the import, if you look at it, we have seen a significant increase in the import over the last 5 years. It has almost gone 3 times, and this is where the challenge comes up, that the import is coming at a phenomenally cheaper price, whereas India as a country, because most of the countries outside of India are putting a lot of restrictions, trade barriers in order to export the product. However, in India, we still have huge possibility for getting the imports, and that is impacting the local demand in the local production facilities in the country. And you look from a 0.4 million to 1.2 million, which is almost 14% of the demand being met by the import sector. If you look at it, the export side, again, the export has been falling. The primary reason, as I talked about, is due to the fact that most of the countries have put a lot of restrictions in order to get the material of the quotas. For example, people won't allow the material to be coming out of India or from different parts. So therefore, India as a country also has to consider some kind of a policy change which would restrict some kind of imports in order to ensure that the local production is being used for meeting the demand in the country. What is which I talked about briefly, is the real challenge is the defective secondary choice material. If you look at it, in 16-17, it was just about 9,000 tons, which has gone up to almost 150,000 tons. This shows that the more and more material which is coming into the country is cheaper defective products. So therefore, what happens is our consumer, who is not that well aware, is unfortunately getting a poor quality material, and he is to compromise with that, considering the price as a major factor. Therefore, what is important is to consider that we should stop really the defective second quality imports in order to ensure that the consumer gets better quality products, the product is going to get a longer life, because the whole purpose of steel consumption is to provide a longer life, better product and better lifestyle. Otherwise, what you do end up is having a compromise on the product. As we talked about per capita, that there is a long way for India to go. We are just about 7 kgs. If you see in coated steel, if you see other countries, they are in the range of anything between 30 to 35 kgs. And overall, as a world, we are talking about 22 kgs. So we are 1/3 similar to what we have in the steel side. So if we look, the potential for a coated steel is phenomenal, and therefore zinc becomes a very, very important part of this whole journey, where we, along with zinc producers, can take this journey to a farther heights and ensure that the consumer who is aspiring to have a good quality roofing, a good quality appliance, in terms of applications, he can be getting a better product and at an affordable cost. If we talk about coated steel usage, it touches the lives of all of us on a day-to-day basis. If you look at it in terms of commercial buildings, residential buildings, it is used in terms of cladding, in terms of roofing. This is one of the single largest usage which you see across the country in terms of color-coated sheets, which we believe has a great future considering the affordable housing scheme which the government has introduced. In terms of the solar, we all believe that renewable energy has a very important role to play in the economy. In that, especially the solar panels, all the solar panels are using the galvalume, which again is a very important part so that it ensures that we are able to deliver at the right cost and also being used for a 25 years, which is the life of a solar facility taking forward. In terms of the infrastructure growth, when we talk about the building of roads, highways and such things, there is a crash card which is being used all over the country, and there is a significant push, so which enables us to show and demonstrate the usage of coated steel going forward and increasing the same. We all know that the grains and get spoiled in terms of not proper storage facility. There is a big movement in terms of developing grain silos all across the country so that you can have very well protected grains and that does not get spoiled. Similarly, if you talk about in terms of bus body, car parking, furniture industry, again, the affluence is growing, people per capita income is growing, they are able to afford furniture, which is again making their lifestyle better, helps us in terms of improving. And the big focus is on the home appliances. If you talk about TVs, refrigerator, washing machine, everything is being made out of coated and a color-coated sheets. So that gives us a unique value proposition that you can enhance the lifestyle of a common man by utilizing coated steel. And even if we talk about in coated, we also consider tin, because tin today in terms of the plastics, lot of food packaging is done in plastics. Now with our introduction of the tin, you will see a lot of packaging can be done in tin, which also helps us to take away the usage of plastic, which is very important, and also helps to use steel. At JSW, we are very committed in terms of participating into this journey where we have to drive the whole steel demand. If we look at it, we have the best fundamentals in place in order to meet the demand. We are growing at a phenomenal pace, and building our capacity to 45 million ton with multi-location manufacturing facilities. Again, the idea is that it should not become so expensive for people to get the steel. Therefore, what we have done is all our coated facilities we are putting in different parts of the country in order to ensure that the reach is possible. Similarly, we have also gone out and expanded our sales channel to reach to 8,000 retailers all across the country so that our steel products are being made available to everyone in different parts of the country. We are clearly being the domestic market leader in terms of the coated capacity, clearly the number one, and with our expansion in place from a current 2 million ton coated, we will be getting to 4 million ton coated capacity, which will be the largest in the country, undoubtedly, as well as in terms of the color capacity. Again, we are going to enhance our capacity from a 0.7 million ton to a 2 million ton capacity, which meets the needs of the local market. On top of it, because of our quality and the product innovation, we have got the number one exporter of coated products out of the country. In terms of operational efficiency, we continue to work on a day-to-day basis in order to ensure that we are operating our mills at the highest efficiency level and producing the product and at affordable cost, because that will exactly change the growth pattern and derive the demand in the country. Because if the product becomes affordable, people tend to buy. If it is unaffordable, nobody will buy. So that has been again a very big focus for us, that produce at the right cost. In terms of expansion, as I talked about, that we have the big plans. We have also demonstrated that whenever we as a company, as JSW, have acquired an asset, we have been consistently able to turn around the assets and bring about a significant change, put capex into the facility, enhance production, and produce high quality product. On top of it, we have also a very robust financial strength in order to meet the demand of the country. As I talked about, if you look at it, that we are distributed all across the country. In terms of facility, the largest steel facility being Vijayanagar with 12 million ton, Dolvi with 5 million ton, Salem million ton, Monnet 1 million ton. And then on top of it, the downstream facilities, which is the coated capacities, we have got between Tarapur, Vasant, as well as Kalmeshwar. So our whole focus is to build the capacity in India to serve India. And very clearly, if you look at it, we are going to achieve this 41 million ton in the next few years in order to meet the demand of the country. We are not shying away in terms of saying there is a weakness as of now, because these capacities are not built for today or tomorrow. It is for a long-term basis. So we feel very strongly that these capacities have a great future to come about. In terms of the product profile, we produce the entire product profile between flat and long, which is slabs, hot rolled plates, galvanized, cold rolled, color coated. So this also helps us in terms of meeting the needs in every spectrum. As I talked about, that import substitution is a very, very important theme for us. We want to ensure that all the steel being produced in the country can be consumed, and possibly for all the quality spectrum which is required, be it automotive, be it appliance, we are there to serve that market and demand. In terms of our branded products, because this is again a unique concept, otherwise people did not believe that a steel can be produced and marketed like a branded retail product. We have established our JSW Shoppe in order to ensure the reach of our products to various customers. It should not be left with that it is given or made available only in few cities. What is important is to ensure that it is being made available to every single part of the country, so that people start using steel. Otherwise, what will happen is people would have so much of logistical challenges in order to use steel. Therefore, it was important for us to build this and also ensure that these branded products enable us to get the right quality of the product. Because in the market, you would find there are a lot of substandard products, be it import or be some of the indigenous players. So therefore, it is very important that we need to make sure that the customer is aware that what is the right quality of the product. As we talked about earlier, that it is important to see that the roofing sheet gets a certain coating of zinc or aluminum silicon zinc. It cannot be compromised that you put a lower coating and the customer does not realize this, and after a few years he is faced with some corrosion or he has to go out for replacement. Therefore, it is very important to ensure that we create products which enable a good quality, better at an affordable price. As I talked about tin plate, because tin plate again, though it does not have a zinc coating, but it is important for us to understand in this current situation where plastic is in a significant usage, we want to demonstrate that all the plastic container, be it oil cans, non-oil can, it can be replaced by tin plate. And tin plate is one thing which enables us to get the food packaging in the best of the shape and form and replace the plastics. Second, what is also happening in tin plate today, there is a lot of very poor quality waste material is coming into the country, which has an impact in terms of food spoilage. Therefore, what we need is to stop such imports and start using good quality tin plate which is being made available from our